My husband's younger brother kidnapped him because he wanted to end him and take over his properties. My husband and I have been married for 12 years and we have 3 kids together. This younger brother of my husband is the only brother he has. All other of his siblings are all women and they are all married. Over the years, I have watched my husband languish money on his younger brother. There's no business he has not tried to set up for him. There is no amount of money he has not spent just so this man can take his life seriously. This younger brother of his is in his 40s. It's not like he's a young person, yet he has not taken his life seriously. If you give him money to invest in a business today, all he does is drink, carry women, and just live a useless life. My husband is doing very well and he has properties everywhere. He even makes sure that all his sisters' husbands are doing well. He just wanted the family to be okay financially, and everybody is doing well except this his brother. I don't know what my husband ever did to this his brother for him to plan this kind of thing, and he actually wanted to end my husband so that he can come and take over all his properties. So around 6 months ago, I got a call one afternoon, and it was the kidnappers that called me to tell me that my husband has been kidnapped, that we needed to raise 100 million naira ransom. I was confused at first. I'm like, my husband was kidnapped. Okay. First of all, I ended the call. I'm somebody that I'm very, very slow to react to things. I just ended the call, and then I was thinking to myself, my husband was kidnapped. My husband was kidnapped. The next thing I did was dial my husband's number, and it was switched off. And then the number called back, and he was shouting, "Madam, are you stupid? Did you not hear what I said? Your husband has been kidnapped. You people have 3 days to give us 100 million naira, or else we are going to end him." And then he ended the call. I tried to call back. The number was switched off immediately. At that point, I was confused. I was no longer composed. I was just telling the boys in the shop that somebody just called me that my husband has been kidnapped. I was shaking. Everything was just blown. So immediately I called one of my husband's friends and I told him what happened. He told me to send the number to him, which I did. He said he sent the number to some police officers. He tried to do what he could do. I started calling everybody, calling his parents, calling his siblings, and crying and telling them what happened. Before that day could end, 2 of his sisters that live in the same city with us, they came to the house, to see how we can put heads together. Where are we going to see 100 million naira from? Even if we have that kind of money, the only person that can raise that kind of money is in the bush with kidnappers. That same evening, my husband's friends came to the house with some policemen. They asked me questions. They asked what time they called. They were waiting if the people were going to call again. They didn't call. At that point, I was just crying. I was fidgeting. I didn't even know what to do anymore. I have checked my account. I have checked everywhere. I didn't have over 10 million naira in all my accounts. So where exactly am I going to get 100 million naira from? So in the midnight, they called again around 1 a.m. Immediately the number started calling. I shouted, "They've called again." So everybody gathered around and they were recording and all of that. So I said hello. I was crying. I said, "Please don't hurt my husband. Whatever he has done, please forgive him. We don't have that kind of money." He said, "From this midnight, I only have 2 days." I said, "But you told us 3 days before." He said, "Doesn't care. 2 days, we should bring 100 million naira, else he's going to end him." I said, "Please let us negotiate. We don't have that kind of money. Even if we want to sell our properties, we cannot sell them in 2 days. Please, I beg you." I was begging them. He said, "There's no negotiation. This one is not negotiation at all. If I don't bring that money, my husband is going to die." From that midnight, I started calling people, calling my husband's friends and telling them, "Please, whatever you have in your account that you can spare, just send it to me." Upon all, we couldn't raise more than 35 million naira in the short time they gave us. So that night, I was waiting for these people to call me. They didn't call. The next day, they didn't call. At this point, I was already mourning my husband. I said, my husband is dead. These people did not call me. They gave me 2 days. Now 2 days has passed. They didn't call me. The second day, they called me. After I was already crying that, why did they not call and all of that? They started telling me that, "Madam, we have moved your husband to another location. We are going to tell you how much we are going to collect next. We are no longer collecting 100 million. We will let you know the price that we want to collect. We will call you back. Don't worry, your husband is alive." I said, "Please, I want to talk to my husband. Please, I want to talk to my husband." So they gave my husband the phone. My husband was telling me I shouldn't worry. Everything will be fine. I should calm down. When I heard his voice, I felt a little relief. I won't even lie. They told me that I should wait for their call. I said, "Okay, no problem." I told my family members, I told police officers, everything that was happening. This, my husband's brother, was with us in the house. Though he was always coming and going, the only time that I didn't see him was for almost those 2 days that these kidnappers did not call us. He was not with us, but he was constantly calling me. He was showing care. Have they called? Have they not called? But he was not around for that 2 days. I didn't even have the mind to suspect anybody at that point. After they called me and I spoke to my husband and they told me to relax, I didn't hear from them for the next 3 days. At this point, I was worried. Everybody was worried. That was when I started noticing my brother's in-laws' actions. He was now fidgeting more than me, that was the wife. He was now worried and asking questions. Why have they not called? Why have they not called? I'm like, calm down. They say they want to renegotiate. We were now the one calming him down. I still did not suspect anything. We were still in the house the 4th day. At this point, my husband was already like 1 week plus with the kidnappers. We were in my living room when police officers came to my house to come and arrest my brother-in-law that he's a suspect in the kidnap. I say, "Suspect?" I said, "Police, what are you talking about?" They say, "Madam, don't worry." I wanted to follow them to the station. They say I should stay at home and wait until the kidnappers call again. So my husband's best friend was with me. and he was telling me that I should stay at home. He will handle everything. I was confused. My husband is with kidnappers. They are arresting my brother-in-law. What is happening here? At this point, my mother-in-law and father-in-law heard that they arrested my brother-in-law. They started calling me and asking me what is happening. I said, I don't know. Police came to arrest him, that he's a suspect in the kidnapping. What do I mean? They kept on calling me. I said, your daughters are here. Please, my own is my husband. Please be calling them. So after that day, I didn't pick their call anymore. What are you calling me for? Look at your children here. Why not call them and be getting information? Am I the one that arrested him? So that irritated me and I just stopped speaking their call. All my own is for my husband to come home. So the next day, my house was getting empty because the sisters at this point, they were not even talking about my husband anymore. They were going to the police station and find out what is happening. So it was only me, my children, and the boys that were around. My husband and another set of policemen just came back to the house. Hey, I was so happy. I was so relieved. I went to hug him. He was looking all clean. He was not looking like somebody that was kidnapped. I'm like, what is happening? Are you okay? He said, yes, he's okay. Everything is okay. So he entered inside. He went to shower. He sat down. Police officers were with him. They were making calls. They said that they should bring that guy from the police station to the house. Everybody should come to the house. I gave him food. He ate. Our living room is very big. There were over 15 police officers in my house that day. They were armed. Me, I was kukuma scared. My husband was there. They brought his brother from the police station. Everybody was sitting down. His sisters, his friends, everybody. My husband started narrating his ordeal. His younger brother went to pay some group of cultists to kidnap him, and they made a deal that after they get the ransom, they are going to share it 50-50. At the end of the day, they will kill my husband. Everybody was surprised. What? The God that saved him was that 2 of the people that kidnapped him recognized him from school. They are almost age mates, but he was their senior in the university. But they were known cultists in school. Everybody knew them. That he was actually surprised that they are still living that way. And then the next day, after they opened his face and all of that, he was the one looking at them like, these people are familiar. And then they called his name. He said at that point when they called his name, he already told himself that he was gone. Like, he started fidgeting and crying, please don't kill me, I don't know you, I don't know. They say, calm down. Are you not so and so person? Are you not the one that used to give us money in the school? Are you not the one that used to do this and that? They tried all their possible best at that time to put my husband in their court, but he refused. But he had money when he was in school because he was always doing business. So he was constantly giving them money just to make sure to avoid being harassed by them. And that was what saved my husband. If not, they would have killed him because his younger brother wanted to take over his property. But because they didn't want the whole thing to escalate or his younger brother to run away, they had to keep calling me. They had to start making plans to fool my husband's brother. That was how they were able to take him to another location that they didn't agree. Kept him in a hotel, promised them that he was going to give them money, but please, they shouldn't harm him. They now took him to a hotel. He was just there. They had to keep calling me just to keep the whole thing going until they contacted the police and told them everything. So the kidnappers were saying that they wanted a way out. They don't want to be arrested. They are going to help my husband, but my husband should not implicate them and all of that. So they gave their testimony on the phone to the police. They didn't agree to go to the police station whatsoever. So that's how they came to the house to arrest my husband's brother. My husband just started crying. All of us just started crying. What is it that my husband has not done for his brother? Absolutely nothing. He has spent millions. He has opened businesses. He paid for his wedding. In fact, they looked for a wife for him, paid for that marriage completely. That woman did not stay with that man for 1 year. She ran away because of the way he behaves. There is nothing they have done for him that is working. It's not like my husband has cut him off or anything. Why did you decide to do this? At this point, my husband has decided that he wants to sell all his properties in Nigeria. And all of us are moving abroad. Because right now, his family is against him. They are blaming my husband for arresting his younger brother. They are not blaming the younger brother for setting my husband up and almost ending his life. They are saying, why will he arrest his brother? That they are blood. No matter what, he's not supposed to arrest him. He should have forgiven him and let the matter go. Right now, my husband has blocked all his family members. He doesn't pick calls from his parents. He has started selling some of our properties against my own wish. And he said we are leaving this country completely. In 6 months, this thing happened. And right now, my husband is so fixated. He has started working on our visa in 2 different countries at the same time. If this one does not work, this one will work. My husband just wants to leave. And I don't know if that's the best decision because this money that we are using to move abroad was made in this country from these businesses. I don't think he should close everything just because we want to move. I don't know what my husband should do. This incident has been traumatic for me and my family. In fact, I am now looking at my sister-in-laws. I am scared of them. For them to even come to my house is a scary thing for me.